Hi, this is Eric from longboxreview.com. I was tagged in a favorite Batman sequence video by Mr. Oddfellow's Thoughts, Travis, a while ago, and I just got around to doing it. So this is my favorite Batman sequence, but I'm afraid I'm cheating a little bit because I chose the majority of a comic. But I'll get to that in a second. So as you can see, this is a Batman sequence video, but I'm wearing a Robin shirt, although Batman's in the background. One of the things that Travis noted in his sequence video was that he wanted to see what my approach would be, because my approach to Batman has more to do with his sidekick Robin, or Robins, as the years have produced. And this my choice for the Batman sequence is no different. It's no different from what he suspected anyway, because I chose a book, even though Robin is in it, but well, I'll just get to it. My favorite Batman sequence comes from, let's see here, Batman and Robin number 18. And we'll get right to it. Okay, as I said, my pick is Batman and Robin number 18. This is part of the Requiem storyline. This is after Damian Wayne was killed. This issue is by Peter Tomasi, written by Peter Tomasi. Patrick Gleason is the penciler, Mick Gray is the inker, John Cleese is the colorist, Taylor Esposito is the letterer, and Gleason, Gray, and Cleese did the cover that we're looking at right now. And so this comic opens with and there's I don't believe there's any actual dialogue in this comic, or there's very little. We'll see. But anyway, the comic opens and the fire is burning in Bruce Wayne's eyes, which is a nice metaphor for what Bruce is going through in relation to the death of his son. So he's sitting there sullen by the fire with Titus nearby, and he's looking at the empty bed of his son. And as you can see here in this page, this sets up, the isolation, the loneliness that Bruce is feeling because his son has died. He then goes on to find some things out about his son that he probably did not know, certainly did not know in the case of this note from the mysterious CK, which at first I thought was, as an aside, his friend Clark Kent providing some reading material for Damian, but no, it turns out to be Carrie Kelly, who was later introduced, or I think maybe she was, I don't remember when she was introduced, but we find out that is who that note is from. But as you can see, Damian is a budding artist, and quite good. So yeah. Then the next sequence, we steer away a little bit from Bruce's grief and get shown Alfred's grief, but more importantly, what we see is the portrait of the Wayne family, the boys, that was, I believe, introduced in the very first New 52 Batman issue, Batman number 1. I think they were posing for that. And as you can see, it's not finished, with maybe a little too on the nose, with Damian's portrait body not quite being filled in. So there's an absence there. There's a hollowness to this picture, and of course to the overall feelings that Bruce is probably feeling. Bruce is kind of a dick here. He just, this is how he deals with things. He shoves these feelings, these problems that he has, and puts them away. And we see the physical manifestation of that through him covering up the portrait and taking it away from Alfred, and of course from himself. He goes down to the Batcave, and this is when hallucination is probably too strong of a word here, but he's seeing things. He's remembering at least the slide down the bat pole. But as you can see in the bottom row here, at the bottom of the page, there's blood coming down Damien's pole, which that was kind of creepy and a little telling, because his son was killed on his watch. He feels responsible for this, as he should. And then he's looking at his son's stuff. But really what I want to focus on is him caressing his son's glove, as if he's holding his son's hand. And that's where the emotion of this particular issue and this sequence really started to hit me. It's in some ways it seems kind of silly, but and maybe a little soap opera-esque in a way, but it still hit home for me. And then, of course, we get. I just want to show this because this is a very lovely one-page or splash page of the two out on the town, done wonderfully by Gleason and Gray and Calise. While Batman's out, he sees, or he goes and is positioned on this street light. And again, just focusing, because we get it's very few colors here. He's in black, and the light's shining on basically nothing. But, again, representing the isolation that Batman is feeling right now. He then takes out a bunch of criminals. This is how Batman deals with his pain. He inflicts it on the others, the superstitious and cowardly lot of which he's going after this night, and takes out a lot of people and delivers them all to Commissioner Gordon on the rooftop of police headquarters with the bat signal lit up. Look at all those people there in that panel there. Goes home, and after he showers and he's walking by, I'm not sure why he didn't see this before, but he's walking by the bat locker room, I guess. But he sees this letter that Damian left him when Damian went off to go fight. I can't remember who it was now, but he went off to fight some people after his father told him explicitly, no, you stay here. And of course that led to Damian's death. And here's the letter that are Damian's last words to his father. And of course you see the anguish here in Bruce's eyes, or the lack of his eyes, but it certainly strongly suggests that this anguish. And what father wouldn't feel that way after experiencing the death of his son and then reading this letter, so basically asking him to forgive him, for Bruce to forgive Damian. As Damian said, "Mother may have given me life, but you taught me how to live." So there you go. And this, when I read this the first time, months and months ago, this is what really blew me away. That where the usually taciturn and very controlled, very emotionally controlled Bruce Wayne, Batman, just loses it and just takes out the lockers. With poor Titus there sitting there at the bottom of the panel, looking on forlornly. And then the final page where Bruce hugs his son, in a sense. So people that say that Batman just doesn't care, and a lot of that criticism has been leveled by his own family members, obviously they are wrong. So yeah, I know I cheated a little bit. I showed a lot of the comic, so it's not like a short sequence, a page or even just a panel sequence. But that particular issue, I felt was one long sequence with a few transitions, but I thought that it worked very well thematically and obviously emotionally. I kind of got a little choked up there when I was going through it. Just I love my kids so much, and I can't imagine what how it feels to lose a child like that, especially in this. I kind of think of Damien's death in terms of a very hyper real way, because they're crime fighters, they're costume crime fighters, and their whole lives are kind of super realistic in a fashion, and just that emotional connection that they have to each other, that they have to have with each other, because they're constantly watching their backs, each other's backs, and saving each other and helping each other, and they're in this fight together, so. I just think it's a very, very strong sequence that took most of the issue. Anyway, Travis was right. I approached Batman from a very Robin-centric way, and this issue was illustrative of that. So I'm supposed to tag somebody else, but everybody that I follow either has done this or I don't know anybody else. So if you are seeing this and you haven't done this Batman sequence tag or a video for this Batman sequence, go ahead. I'd love to see what it is that you have in mind for your favorite Batman sequence. Give it a go and let me know. So I tag anybody else who hasn't done this. I know it's lame. I'm lame. Anyway, that is it. Thanks, Travis, for tagging me. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Sorry it took me so long to get to it. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.